you. And Glenn and Muna, seriously, you guys, this has been so special. When I think about, I'm going to just try to wing it, so go with me if I fail. But isn't that part of it, right? I think about power, and I think the first thing I think of is asking for what you want, which is like surprisingly a novel concept for someone like me. And when I created our startup beat at CNN, I was actually doing the job before I had the job, which I think probably a lot of you guys can relate to that. And I remember this woman, Susan Grant, coming in and saying to me, she was like this executive who's so badass. She like didn't dress like all the other executives and had like really cool bracelets up to here. And she was just like, why don't you just write your own job description and hand it to someone? I was like, what? Can I do that? And so I did, and it didn't exist. It was a multi-platform reporter at CNN, and it didn't exist. And I did that, and so I got the job, and it started my career in technology. Now, if it weren't for her, I wouldn't have asked for what I want, and I think there's so much power in just asking for what you want. And then I guess maybe I'll end it with talking about quitting my job. So then I quit at CNN after 10 years. I had interviewed a bunch of big tech CEOs, and everyone was like, oh, you're doing great. And I was really ready to go. Wanted to start my own media company. And I was obsessed with a YouTube video of how lobsters grow. Yeah. God, I hope that music doesn't come on during this. And when lobsters grow, it was a rabbi talking about when lobsters grow. And when lobsters grow, they get really uncomfortable. This is what the rabbi said. And like, it's really awful, and they have to completely shed their shell in order to grow. And it's also the most vulnerable the lobster is, apparently, and also the lobster can get eaten then. So it really sucks, but it's the only way the lobster gets bigger. So I was quitting my job with the president of CNN, Jeff Zucker, who was my mentor. I walked in, we're going back and forth, we're negotiating. I see you guys laughing, so there's probably some backstory there. I was negotiating with Jeff, and I started going back on my, I was like, have conviction, Segall. I started going back on it. And then I said to him in the middle of our talk, I have to tell you how lobsters grow. So I'll just end with maybe my favorite quote, which is, we tell each other stories in order to live. And the stories I've heard tonight, like, what a life, you know? So thank you guys.